Hello theatre fans and welcome back to Keep Art It. I am Alexander Wells, flying solo for this review of Blackbird Hour, which I just went to go see at the Bristol Old Vic in the Weston Studio. It's Tuesday, March 4th, so I saw it on opening night and it goes on until March the 8th. So if you want to check it out, that's how much time you've got to go and see it. It's a small piece with only 4 actors in. That is Danielle Casarate, Evelyn Oyedokan, Ivan Oyek, and Olivia Nakintu. It was written by Babiri Bakilwa and it was directed by Malachi Sargent. I must apologise for the poor pronunciation of all of those people's names. So, the piece is about 80 minutes long with no intervals, and it concerns a young woman who is dealing with the grief, the loss of a parent, and it's about her slow descent into drug abuse and depression and self-harm. So not a particularly cheery topic, but it was handled very well, very sensitively throughout, and we were even encouraged at the end to sit in the space for 15 minutes afterwards if we needed time to kind of reflect and think before going back into the wider world, which I think was a nice touch. So all the performances were really strong, everybody involved put on a fantastic show, very believable characters. My one criticism of the piece overall is that I would have loved to have seen more of the character before her descent into depression so that we could get to know her and get to relate to her a little bit better. I think that would have been really nice, but that's my only real criticism in terms of the performance. One of the things that they have throughout the piece is something called creative captioning. There's some projector screens behind the performance, and as the characters are saying the words, the script indeed, the words of the script come up behind them. Now, I found this a little bit distracting. It's the same reason I don't put subtitles on when I'm watching movies and TV, because I like to focus on the action. But I think it is a good way. Some of the language used is very poetic, and I think in some instances it was really, really good. During the performance that I saw, the creative captioning did cut out for a couple of scenes. I don't know if that was intentional or not, if that was just some teething problems, but something to take note of, I guess. In terms of the staging, we are confined to one area, the main character's apartment. We see her bed, and also there's kind of a side bit where you can see a sink, which operates as a bathroom and a kitchen. Everybody involved really did put their all into this performance, and I think, as I said earlier, I think they did handle the topics really well. I think it was sensitively handled, and they did a good job of telling the story. And no spoilers for the ending, but it is left slightly open and ambiguous. There are some interesting acting choices throughout in terms of how the characters are portrayed, especially towards the end. Some of the characters act in some very, very strange ways, which is borne out in the narrative, but it was still quite interesting to kind of navigate that and go, okay, well, what's going on here, kind of trying to work it out. Reminded me a little bit of David Lynch, actually, in that regard, in that certain things weren't said to us explicitly, and we just had to work it out from context clues. But overall, I did really enjoy the play. Not my favourite thing that I've ever seen at the Bristol Old Vic by any means, but it is certainly worth recommending because it's powerful performances. But as I said earlier, it is dealing with some quite strong content, some quite difficult subjects. So if you're of a particularly sensitive nature, maybe best to avoid this one. But if you, generally speaking, can deal with heavy topics, then go right ahead and check this play out. As I mentioned earlier, it goes on until March the 8th, and it has been performing in other places as well. So if you can't catch it in Bristol, maybe you can catch it somewhere else. So thank you so much for watching this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. As ever, we would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It means a great deal to us. The more subscribers we've got means the more visibility for our channel. Also, if you do get a chance to check the play out, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear from you. For now, though, this is Alexander Wells from Keep Art It. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and we'll catch you very soon, because we've got lots of plays this month, so there'll be more reviews incoming.